what you guys, the magic that you do on the pitch, which we all look forward to watching. Thank you so much. Please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Sanjay Mittal, you have done a wonderful job. First of all, the amount of work that has gone through. Now I understand my ground play better.
Ground play better.
It's a lot of work, I think. So just trying to correlate what happens in the form of science and technology, and then how do you correlate this to the game as such. It's quite different. It's very different. I think, had I known these theories, I mean, for the first time, I'm trying to understand what is Magnus, what do you call that? Magnus effect. And then Reynolds number, and so Reynolds pen. So, it's I think we have been playing with science with our own way on the field, but with these numbers, how to correlate is something that my mind is working now. Yes, I think the true value of, or in the end, these numbers are so important. I mean, we need to understand the tunnel effect, what you were talking about. I think there could be some scope for cricketers to understand this and then start working on it. I think a lot of work has been done. I think we need to still come to simple terms to the cricketers because we are not very, very smart when it comes to this. That bridge could be built to make us understand, how we could really better our efficiency on the field. Now let me explain or probably the general way the general cricketer's understanding of how the ball functions. What are the important aspects of a cricket ball? The first thing about the cricket ball is the seam part of it. Now I might have probably answered a few questions which you people have been asking in those Magnus and Reynolds way, but I'll speak it in my own way. I'll speak it up in my own way. Seam becomes extremely important. So let me start from how do we choose the ball. So whenever the toss is done, the fourth umpire would come to us with a box of balls. So he should come with 3 boxes of balls, which will be 18. So we pick up the ball. So first is the seam, the way you feel the seam in your hand. I wish I had a ball here. I would have shown you. Can I just have
Wow.
Yes. My talk will be much better. So this seam becomes extremely important. I think for us, for any cricketer or any bowler, the first thing that he wants to feel of a ball is the seam part. Now what does that seam means to us? The seam means symmetry between the sides. Okay, we expect the ball to be of the same weight on both sides. Okay, and we want the seam to be rough. I mean, really, it should be standing tall, which is missing these days with the white balls. Okay. With the white balls, now the seam has flattened. So if I rotate this ball here, if I roll this ball here, you can see the ball. I'm able to use here. You can see this, the ball there is a bump in the ball when it rolls. Whereas if you roll the white ball, you will not see that. It will probably go traverse in a very straight line. So the seam is missing. So let's come to how that has affected the bowlers is something that we'll discuss later. But let me just go with the normal swing. So the feel of the ball is extremely important for any bowler. So this decides why we need, in a team of 3 good fast bowlers, I think everybody will have a different way. So generally we look for consensus after one of the guys choose the ball, one of the bowlers choose the ball, he'll pass it on to the other two guys to make sure that he also gets a good feel of the ball. So that's how the ball is selected. Now when it comes to the bowling part, so we choose the ball and we go out and we bowl. There are so many factors that is affecting a bowler or his bowling. It could be the weather, it could be the temperature, it could be the pitch as such, it could be the moisture content in the pitch. All of it decides how the ball is going to behave on that particular day. The beauty of this game is that although you feel that the previous day and the day today is completely the same, still you might not produce the same kind of bowling what you did the previous day. Now there are some X factors which we don't know why that happens. Okay, back to the conventional swing. It all depends on your wrist action. So initially we believe that both the sides of the balls are the same, there's not much of a difference. So your wrist position decides what your swing is all about, how or what could be, in which way the ball could probably move. I had an action where my arm is close to the ears, more or less, and my swing position would be towards the batsman more. So which will probably give you a force behind the ball which is following the batsman. So that's an in-swinger. For example, Kapil Dev would probably, I would always try to keep the ball facing the batsman. Whereas Kapil Dev used to hold it slightly towards the slip, and his arm would be slightly away from his ears. Now what happens, you have stumps at both ends. Now the batsman is standing in front of the wickets. Now where the ball is being delivered, whether the ball is delivered right where the stumps are, where the bowler is, or somebody who uses the crease and then bowls into the batsman. Aim is to hit the stumps. So somebody coming slightly round arm will have to release the ball somewhere around middle stump of the batsman. Or somebody like me will have to release the ball just outside the off stump. So from there, we use most of the bowlers at all times, we use the angle. We use the angle to get the desired swing. We can call it swing, we can call it seam, that can be interchangeable. Ideal situation is for you to bowl straight as possible, and after pitching, you got to seam the ball away or into the batsman. That's the one which is going to fetch you most of the wickets. If I am a batsman, and if I know the ball is coming from the edge of the crease, and the ball is coming into me, it is easy for the batsman to play when the ball is coming predictably into the batsman. Or if somebody's bowling action is round arm, and if the ball is going away from the batsman, it is predictable, and I can probably adjust my stance and then play the ball better. But if somebody is bowling straight, and which is stump to stump, because when you're moving the ball from edge of the crease into the batsman, it can hit any one of the stumps. When you're bowling outswinger, you're generally hitting the middle or off stump, because leg stump is very difficult to bowl. So ideal situation is you've got to bowl straight, and where the batsman doesn't know whether the ball can come in or it can go out. Even the bowlers would not know whether the ball is going to come in or go out sometimes. These are the X factors. I still remember asking Imran Khan, way back in 1991, as to, you as an youngster, you want to meet any big fast bowler, any great fast bowler, and I keep asking him questions. So I met him in the gym and he said, bowl 6 balls, try to master your stock ball, which is the ball which is coming into the batsman. एक आध बॉल तो सीधा निकल जाएगा तो वो स्विंगर हो जाता है. So this is what he said. So that is how we learn. Then over a period of time you will be able to, the grip gets better and you have enough experience depending upon the kind of pitch that you have. You can hold the seam and make the ball top and move the ball the other way. This is the conventional swing. So generally, somebody who bowls that is in swing as an outswing, so he would rather bowl straight and then try to get. So he's excellent in terms of his wrist position, and this wrist position will impart that force whether to take the ball in or to take the ball out. If you see England, what we call the banana swing, which means there is massive swing that happens. And for somebody who is watching on television, you will see the ball starting from here, and then it goes all the way to the first slip. So you can see a big arc, if you draw a line, which goes clearly to the first slip. An in-swinger can come from here. It looks good, but it is not effective in terms of getting wickets. Okay, the more straighter you bowl, that much better it is for the bowler to pick up wickets. Now this is about the conventional swing. Now let's talk about the reverse swing. Generally, whenever I'm asked to explain the youngsters about what is reverse swing, I just tell them it's the principle of a parachute. You throw the ball out, you throw the parachute up, the heavier side comes down, the lighter side stays top. That's basically the gravity stuff. Even in reverse swing, it is the same. Okay, why does the normal swing, as I said, is more to do with your wrist position and the direction. Whereas reverse swing is completely opposite to that. Now what does the reverse swing do? We start shining the new ball as well. Now what happens when you shine with the new ball? There is a bit of sweat that goes into one side and then you don't do anything with the other side. So when I was bowling, I was livid to make sure that the ball is handled carefully by every fielder who is handling the ball. They got to be careful. They cannot touch one side of the ball like this, but they need to make sure that they put the sweat and the speed, whatever it is, and then make sure they shine the ball nicely. That brings a bit of weight imbalance between A side and the B side. So with the new ball, generally the one which has more, say for example, this is the shiny side, which is probably more shiny and all of it. The dynamics of the ball is such that if there is, I would say 80% of the shine here, and there is still 100% of the shine here. And this 80% is basically we have not shined this side of the ball. So that's why I call it 80% of it. The swing is still the conventional one. Okay, so you give your wrist position, you give the right wrist under the ball and make sure that you direct the ball towards the off stump, and it's easy to bowl that swing. But as the ball grows older and older, one side you see the scruff. Okay, the ball is almost coming up. Now what we want to do is, in Indian conditions, because of the abrasive nature of the pitch, what we do is we shine only one side and then allow the other side to be as rough as possible. We want that to be rough. I think that's where the docking thing came into picture, and then people started using those bottle caps to scratch one side of it. More than shine, the ball that is damaged on the other side gives you better result for reverse swing. So that can happen probably from 40 overs onward, depending upon the kind of nature of pitch that you have and also the ball that is provided. So what happens when you really shine one side of it, that becomes heavier. So there is a differential weight on each, there is a differential weight on either side of the ball. So if this is heavier side, and if this side is the scuff part of the ball, so when you bowl, and there has to be a threshold speed here. So if your speed is less than 120, you will not be able to achieve that reverse swing, because in reverse swing, when you bowl, initially the ball will go towards the off stump, and then it drags into the batsman. It comes back into the batsman. Where the problem happens for the batsman is, he is moved by seeing the ball going slightly away, so his whole position is this way. The moment, that is a natural movement of the batsman. So once he is stuck here, the ball starts coming in. So the ball starts drifting back into the batsman. So he is stuck with his footwork. And that's where the damage happens. And for the outswing again, now the shiny part will be the other side. Now, if you want to put an outswinger, I will keep the shiny part this side, because I want to take the ball away from the batsman. Now this is where we run with the ball with the other hand, so that the batsman should not know. Okay, we hide where we are trying to, we are hiding the ball, making sure that the batsman doesn't see that. Good batsmen will watch this. Say for example, Sachin and these guys, they know which side the ball is moving. So for him, I am now aiming at the leg stump. The moment I aim at the leg stump, the batsman is now committed to this. So that's when you are completely missing the line of the ball as it approaches you. So this is how the reverse swing operates. So basically the heavier side the ball starts drifting toward the heavier side, and that initial pace of 130 to 140 plus, it helps you to take the ball slightly away first and then start coming into the batsman. So that is the one which helps bowlers to get more wickets, and batsmen get confused with that little drift. Even spinners, smart spinners. So for all of it, the symmetry of the ball becomes extremely important. So when you bowl, if the ball goes this way, which Siraj does most of the time, but he's accurate. If you're accurate stump to stump, whether the ball is going seam-wise or if you have a rotating seam, doesn't really matter. But generally, the conventional way of keeping the ball, the seam upright is extremely important. So the ball, for any fast bowler, the moment the seam is, when you're bowling straight to the stump,